Hey guys, what's up? So I actually have all of my gear in my house for the first time I think ever, since my band recently just moved all of our gear out of our old jam space. So I thought it would be a perfect time to show off my gear and talk a bit about everything that I got. So first up is my Kiesel Carving Guitars Vader. Is definitely my favorite guitar that I own. So yeah, I'll just run through the specs of it a little bit. It's got a swamp ash body, a swamp ash top, Kiesel lithium pickups, zebra wood fingerboard, a maple neck with carbon fiber reinforcement rods. It's also got this neat little zebra wood backplate here. And it was actually part of the Wired Guitarist Guitar Porn Vader run, which means it's a special limited edition Vader. So it's actually signed by Jeff Kiesel, the owner of Kiesel Guitars, on the back here, and it was number 23 out of 100 that were made for this run. It's also got Luminlay glow-in-the-dark side dots over there, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't know, I kind of took a shot in the dark with this one. I had never tried a headless guitar before, so I didn't really know what to expect, but I thought it looked really awesome, so I thought I'd give it a go, and you know, everyone was talking about how awesome they were, so decided to pull the trigger and get one, and I have not regretted it a day since I got it. Absolutely love this guitar, and yeah, I suggest trying one out or buying one if you've been on the fence about it, because it's seriously awesome. Alright, second guitar up is my newest guitar. It is a Sterling by Music Man JP60. So it's not a real Music Man JP. It's the Sterling sub-brand of Music Man, which is basically their Indonesian-made guitars, whereas real Music Mans are made in California, I think. But despite that, I actually really like this guitar quite a lot. It's one of my favorite 6-strings that I've ever played, especially in this price range. It was about $700 or so. I've really liked it so far. I've only had it for about a week, so bear that in mind. But yeah, it feels really solid. I got it tuned to drop C right now. Stock pickups are pretty good. The bridge pickup is pretty good. The neck pickup is kind of meh, honestly. My favorite thing about this guitar is definitely the finish though, is the Mystic Green finish. Which is based off of, I think, the Mystic Dream finish that's available on the actual American-made Music Mans. And what's really cool about this finish is its pearlescence, so it kind of changes colors depending on what light you're in. Sometimes it looks really green, sometimes it looks blue, sometimes it looks purple, sometimes it looks almost black. So that's really cool, and I'm a huge fan of cool finishes. Alright, the third guitar, or not really a guitar, bass guitar that I'm going to talk about is again a Sterling by Music Man sub-series bass guitar. So this is a pretty cheap bass. However, with that being said, it's pretty awesome. It's done everything I've needed it to do so far. I got it tuned down to drop A. The main reason I bought it was just because I was kind of sick of programming bass, which is what I used to do for all of my music that I have on my YouTube channel. The novelty of programming bass is kind of wearing off because it's pretty time consuming. So I figured I would pick up a cheaper bass so that I can avoid programming bass on at least my music that's in drop A or G sharp. It's a pretty solid bass. It's got a satin walnut finish, which is pretty nice looking. And I really like the feel of the satin finish. Alright, the final guitar that I'm going to talk about is a heavily customized Ibanez RG8. So it is just the bass, like, you know, the cheap Ibanez RG8, which is I think the cheapest 8-string guitar that Ibanez offers. I think it's a basswood body and a maple neck. But anyways, yeah. So underneath this all, it is just a stock RG8. But the cool thing about this guitar is how many things have been upgraded on it. So I actually got it used, and the previous owner before me He refinished the guitar in seafoam green. I think he just spray painted it, but I mean, it looks pretty nice, especially from far away. Once you get a little closer, you can kind of see some little, flaws. It's not perfect. I thought it was really cool that he actually managed to put an Ibanez decal on the headstock as well after he finished it. Because a lot of people, when they, refinish a guitar, they just paint over that, and then I don't know. I think it's cool that it's still there. But anyways, that was the first upgrade that was done to this guitar. The second thing the previous owner did was he installed these Hipshot locking tuners up here, which have pearl tuning buttons, which look really nice. They also have an exposed gear on the back, which is kind of cool. They definitely help with the tuning stability of this guitar. The third thing that the previous owner did was he took out the tone knob and tone pot, and he replaced it with a kill switch over here, which is pretty awesome because I never use the tone knob anyways, so I really don't care about that. However, a kill switch is actually pretty useful to have because, I don't really use the volume knob much either, but it's nice to just be able to flick it up and have it needed right away instead of having to spin it. It's a little thing, but it's cool. And it's also nice to use for little stutter effects. I've definitely done that live with my band Galactic Pegasus a couple times now. So then the upgrades that I did to this guitar, I won these pickups from Kiesel Guitars Carbon Guitars, which was awesome. They had like a picture contest, and they picked me as their winner, which was great. So I got to pick out what pickups I wanted from them. So I got 8-string Kiesel lithium pickups, got them installed in here, and they sound awesome. These are the exact same pickups that are in my 7-string Vader, except obviously they're the 8-string version of that. The second thing that I did was I got this pickguard made for this guitar. So I found a template online for an RG8 pickguard, and then I edited it a little bit to make sure it was all the right measurements. I just bought like a stock, rectangle of perloid material. Then I took it to my university because we have a laser cutting machine there, and I got them to cut out a pickguard from it. So it's pretty awesome, and I think it makes the guitar look way nicer. It doesn't really do anything for the sound, but it looks cool, and yeah. Alright, so now that I'm done talking about my guitars, I guess it's time to move on to my live rig. So my live rig is pretty basic. All I've got is a guitar cab, a power amp, and my Pod HD Pro. So my cabinet is a Mesa 4x12 slime cab. I got it used off of Craigslist, and it came in this really awesome road case, which has done me wonders when bringing it to all the venues that I've played over the past, I think, 2-ish years that I've had it. I've taken it across the country on tour, and it's held up beautifully. Never had a problem with it, absolutely love it. It's got a lot of attack and some really nice bass resonance as well, which is really cool, especially, since we play in lower tunings. The second thing I want to talk about is my power amp. So it's just an ART SLA-1 studio linear amplifier. It's got 2 input channels. I only use one because I only need one. And yeah, literally all I use it for is to power the signal from my Pod HD Pro so that it's loud enough when it goes into my cab. And that's about it. And the final thing, and probably the most important part of my live rig, is my Pod HD Pro. It's made by Line 6. It's pretty old now, kind of outdated since the HD Pro X series was released a year or more ago, and they just released the Helix pretty recently, so it's getting kind of old. But with that being said, I have never had a problem with it. It's been extremely reliable. Again, I've used it at every single live show my band has ever played, and I also use it as my home recording interface. So pretty much everything you've ever heard on my YouTube channel has been recorded through this Pod HD Pro, including vocals and bass, guitars, everything. Whether it was recorded DI or using a Pod HD Pro tone, it's all gone through here at some point in time. I think I do the unbalanced left mono output from the Pod HD Pro into the power amp, and then the power amp output into the cab, and that's it. That's my live rig. Very simple, does the trick. I definitely do want to invest in a pedal board because I'm getting a little tired of only being able to use one tone live without having to like run over it and spin a dial. So that's getting kind of annoying at this point in time because I'd like to start doing more leads or, you know, just patch changes to make things a little more interesting.